Don't settle for bad socks. Get comfort and grip at an affordable price with Pure Grip Socks Pro. Choose from 18 different colors at puregripsocks.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the Nike Zoom Mercurial Superfly 9 Elite in the latest Rising Gem Pack colorway. Yet another color variation of the current generation of Mercurial that I happen to like quite a bit. It does bear a bit of a premium on the Superfly rather than the Vapor, $300 rather than the usual $285. However, we know that the Superfly 10 is imminent. It's probably going to be coming out in the next month or so, which of course begs the question, do you buy the Superfly 9 now, or do you wait to get the Superfly 10? With the first variable in this question being, how soon do you need a new pair of football boots? If the answer is right now, I don't see anything wrong with grabbing a pair of Superfly 9s. They are excellent football boots, which by the way, you can pick up below their normal retail price by way of some exclusive SR4U coupon codes via the first link down below. However, if your current pair is still holding up and you don't need new boots right this second, maybe it's worth waiting a month or so just to see what the new generation of Mercurial will bring us. Where of course I will be reviewing all the new Mercs, Elite, Pro, Academy, and likely even the club tier options as soon as they're available. So if you don't want to miss out on those reviews, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. With variable number 2 being grip on the ball. We know that the current Superfly 9 and Vapor 15 with their Vaporposit Plus upper have a relatively smooth kind of slick finish to the upper. Not to say that it's slippery, but added grip on the ball is not something that Nike have been pushing on the Mercurial series for quite some time, where it does look, based on images that we've seen from Nike of these next generation of Mercurials, even though we don't have official tech specs as of yet, it looks like the next Mercurial is going to have some variation of their grip knit technology. Will it be quite as grippy as the Phantom GX2 or Luna 2? Of course, only time will tell, but it's safe to say, based on this branding, that more than likely the next gen Mercurial will have more grip on the surface of the upper compared to the current one, which at the end of the day isn't necessarily a matter of being better or worse, because everyone has their own personal preferences when it comes to additional grip on the ball. And I would say in general, it's kind of a non-traditional route for the Mercurial series to go with this next generation. If you're somebody that tends to drag the ball when dribbling, you're probably going to prefer a Mercurial with less grip like the current generation, whereas if you're somebody that tends to push the ball a little bit more, having that little extra grip might give you that sense of control that you're looking for. But again, until anybody gets to try the new Mercs, it's really difficult to say how much additional grip they're actually going to have. The sole plate, stud pattern, and zoom unit also appear to have been reworked on this new generation of Mercurial. How much will that impact overall performance? That's something that again is extremely difficult to say. I don't think there's anything wrong with the feel, comfort, or performance of this current Mercurial sole plate. And if they could improve on this in any way at all, I think that would be quite the achievement. But again, the differences, or let's say gains, that they could potentially make with this new model, if there's going to be any gains at all, I would only expect them to be extremely minimal. Which brings us into the next variable, and that is overall influence from the marketing side of things. How much do you care about having the latest and greatest, and how much does that tie into your overall confidence when playing in your new pair of football boots? In other words, if you're somebody that could get the Superfly 9, feel super excited about them, but then once the Superfly 10 is available, feel like you're missing out, then it's probably best for you to wait for the latest model, just to have that subconscious confidence boost that does come along for some people with having the latest football boots. If that's not you, however, and you could care less about the marketing side of things, I think what's available right now in the Mercurial series is fantastic. And that's something that won't change regardless of which new models Nike releases. And then there's also the possibility that the new Mercs won't actually be better than the current generation. While there is always this perception that newer equals better, and that's what all these brands would love us to believe, there are several instances of various different football boots across all kinds of different brands where the new model comes out and it just isn't as good as what we had before. And given that there does look to be some significant change coming coming from this new Mercurial. While I would expect Nike to put out something really good, it does look like it's going to be different enough where some people might not like it quite as much as what's currently available. So while I'm always going to be excited to try the latest and greatest from Nike, there is definitely that possibility that the new model won't be as good as the current one. But of course, until I get to try them out myself, your guess is as good as mine. And then finally, there's the pricing side of things, where even in this generation of Mercurial, the price has gone up. When the Superfly 9 Elite first came out, the retail was $275. Several months later, they bumped it $10 to $285. Same thing goes for the Vapor, going from $250 to $260. This latest colorway, whether it's special edition or limited edition, I'm not exactly sure why, they've bumped it up to $299. Does that mean that the new Superfly is going to retail for $300 as well? Again, only time will tell. I can't see it going much higher than that if they do decide to make that the new retail price. And then of course, once the new model does come out, that will typically lead to stores clearing out old stock of the previous generation. However, given that the current Mercurial is still very popular, I don't foresee Superfly 9s being discounted to something like $150. At the very least, you might be able to save $50 or so once the next generation comes out. But beyond that, I don't think waiting for the new Superfly 10 is going to result in massive clearance prices for the Superfly 9. Those massive clearance prices tend to only happen when a boot isn't selling very well, and that has not been the situation for the current Mercs. But there you have it. Should you buy the Superfly 9 now or wait approximately a month or so for the Superfly 10? It's totally up to you. I think the big deciding factor is going to be less grip with the current one versus more grip with the new one. But again, only time will tell. Let me know your thoughts on this topic down in the comment section. Which one would you go for? Do you gamble on the unknown, or do you just go for the sure bet? Because everyone knows at this point, the Superfly 9 Elite is a phenomenal pair of football boots.